Hi, everybody. Today I'm going to tell a story about the crazy dream I had. This is another in the piece of things I've experienced over 35 years as a psychic. So, this one was a couple months ago, actually. A couple months ago, I'm dreaming in my sleep that my hair keeps doing, it's like in my dream, my hair is trying to part in the middle. And I don't do a middle part, as you can see, because it's not a good look for my face. Some people can pull it off. I cannot. Anyway, so in my dream, I'm sitting there and it's like refusing to do the side part. And I'm like messing with it in my dream. And I'm like, what is going on with my hair? So in the dream, I walk up to the mirror in my dream to look at, like, what is up? So I go to the mirror. And then it's one of them things where you look and it's not what you're supposed to see. So you're like, holy crap. So you like move up close to like look at what you're seeing, right? So I'm like looking at myself in the mirror and it's me, but it's not me. It's like me, way younger, way more beautiful with these crazy bright glowing eyes, right? So that's the first thing I look at. So I lean in to look and I realize like my eyes are glowing, but they look like snake pupils. And I'm like, okay. And then as I pull back, I noticed I got focused on my hair again. And I realized that I had snake hair. And then one half of my head of snakes was black and the other half was white. And I may have opposite sides. I can't remember. I should have written that part down, but I didn't. So that sends me down. So the shock of all that and what I saw like woke me up. So this sends me down a rabbit hole because this is like I'm Medusa in this dream. So this sends me down the rabbit hole because I've seen all kinds of stories about Medusa. Never seen anything about black snakes, white snakes. Never seen any of the movies or anything. And I love mythology, obviously. And so I ended up going to a college library and finding an old mythology book. And found this vague reference to where it said that there was a theory that with Medusa, one half of her body could bring you back to life and the other could kill you instantly. So thus explaining one color and the other color of the snakes. So the more I looked into all this, I found out that the mirror meant something. That if you look at old pictures of myths, they all have mirrors, hand mirrors, because it's supposed to be a reflection of your soul. And I truly, as it went along, I kept getting told, it's Athena. It's Athena. So I was like, well, could Medusa just be somebody that it's Athena, that they call her Medusa, or they misrepresent her in the myths? So I go looking into Athena, I do a deep dive on Athena, the goddess Athena, and I find some old pictures, old paintings of Athena with snake hair wearing a snake cape. So then it comes back to, well, yeah, but you know the story with the sword, the shield with the Medusa head on it. Was it Perseus? With the Medusa head on it. And so I thought, okay, so what's the head on the shield that he used? And then we learned about Titans. I took a mythology class at college, and we learned about Titans. And there's a story in there about the gods like Zeus and all them fighting Titans. And one of the Titans was a snake-headed goddess. So I can't prove any of this, and I could be completely wrong, but I feel like that the picture on the shield is the Titan that they fought. It's not Athena and it's not Medusa, because I think a Medusa and in my opinion, what I was shown, they're the same. And I would have blown the whole thing off and thought, oh, you're just making that crap. You don't know what you're talking about. If I hadn't found all the images of Athena with snake hair and wearing a snake cape. So it was just really interesting. And the whole figuring out that the mirrors meant something, that all came up later. It was just interesting to me how this really cool, trippy dream, I might add, ended up being just so informative. I got so much out of researching it. So I guess the point I'm making is, if things like this happen to you, go look it up. Go see what you find. You might find that you learn a lot and there might be something with that. I do find it interesting too, like if you look at the old imagery, I have curly hair, and if you look at the old imagery or the old statues of them, if you at first you look at them with the snake hair and they almost look like curls. So I thought that was an interesting thing. But, you know, I watch another YouTuber. His name is Robert Seffer, and he does he's an anthropologist, and he does like the myths and stuff. And he's part of where I learned about the mirror because it got me interested. So I was doing a bunch of YouTube videos and just looking up old books and, Googling things. And he talks about how in his theory, looking at the old history books, that they don't talk about like they were gods in the books. They talk about them like they actually lived. So I don't know, it makes me wonder, are we all genetically descended? Do we all have genetic components from these different deities that have existed? Do we all have some kind of a bloodline connection to all of them? I don't know. I thought that was interesting. And I don't have any proof, but it is something to contemplate. How everyone's psychic experiences are different. How some people see the gods and goddesses. Some people experience fairies. Some people experience ghosts. Some people see more dark entities and scary things. How everyone has a different psychic experience. And my thought, and just something to ponder anyway, is could we be descended from different bloodlines? So we have different capabilities. So that's why everyone's experience is so different. Could it be who you're long-term genetically related to, and who is the strongest component in your DNA that has come up, which gives you specific abilities for different things? Anyway, I just thought that was an interesting story, and I wanted to share it. Everyone have a nice day. Thanks.